Invertebrate Person, Frank the Tank, Marimba Girl, Joseph Tavir, Avocado Yee. Welcome. Yes, today we have a stream. This is not the normal time, but I was not able, because of extended family coming into town and everything tomorrow. It wasn't going to work out to have a stream tomorrow, so I figured we'd have a stream today. And today's stream is going to feature some prep for some packing. It's going to be a shorter stream too, but I figured better have a stream than no stream, right? Better a stream than no stream at all. And I see that Emily Wilson is here as well. Welcome. I'm getting my it's my random mix or herd of mixed zebras or whatever you want to call it. This is basically my bin into which various forms end up. If there's some yellow individuals that are not quite, they don't have the striping I'm looking for, or there's some normal individuals that are more spotted, or high white individuals. I've put a couple of those in here. This is where they end up, and so sometimes people order these because they're a little cheaper than the others, or because they're more available, because right now I'm low on zebras. I'm focusing on getting the ones that are getting them breeding right now. I need to let them rest because they're very popular, and if I oversell, then I'm stuck for a while. So, and the only zebras I'm really working on right now are yellows and just normal, really high stripe individuals, and so anything else goes into this bin. Like somebody's going to get a high white there I just put in there. Maybe you noticed that. So there you go. Glad everybody can hear. Insect Central just made the beetle jelly. Cool. What are you making it for? Which beetles are you making it for? There are a wide variety of beetles that eat it. Some don't, but many of them do. So I'm just curious as to which beetle species you are providing it for. To come back to what we did last week, I put beetles in the incubator, and I'm still tweaking the temperature and humidity a little bit, but I'm hopeful we're going to get some pupation from the 5 beetles I put in the incubator last week. I just got the temperature up to around 87 degrees today. It's been interesting trying to tweak that, but I'm working on it. Okay. Yotaro's here. Awesome. Freelance human being. Great to see you here. Hopefully there's nobody I missed that I need to greet everybody if I can. I try. If I missed somebody, I apologize. That was not on purpose. I am just sorting through. I ended up knocking over a bunch of my deli cups. Didn't mean to do that. And I'm trying to sort through them so that I can use the proper deli cups for the proper isopods. I see Snake Lovers here. Hey! I know you. Now I recognize your name. I know who you are. I don't know if you want me to mention it, but glad you're in the chat. Good to see you here. Looking forward to meeting with you soon. Yeah, me too. So just so you know, we're doing a video. Snake Lover and I are doing a video very soon, coming up, and I'll be announcing that more in detail very soon as well. Laura Taylor's here as well. Good. Oh, Insect Central, Igniolator havaniensis, glowing click beetle. So the larvae probably won't be interested in it, but I think the adults probably will. I can't say for sure because I've never worked with Igniolator before. They're one of my dream species. I gotta say that. I will say that quite freely. Bioluminescent. Why can't I talk? insects are the coolest things ever. So, see, that's a pretty good mix right there. You've got some high white, you've got some stripes, you've got some spots, and you've even got some yellows in there. So I would say that's pretty good. So let's see. Trying to catch up with everybody here. Oh, Casey, welcome. Coming from the south of France. Fantastic. So Yotaro, we didn't move to Tuesdays permanently. This is a very temporary sort of thing. It's just for today, the reason why I'm doing it on Tuesday is I was not able to set it up because of family commitments tomorrow. So can't make it happen tomorrow, and I wanted to go ahead and have a stream if we could have a stream. So today it was. But it has to be short because I have other things going on too. Super busy, unfortunately. And though that makes me kind of sad that we have to cut the stream short, at least we get one. So, and I figured I'd just share some Isopod packing with you as we do this, and that would be fun. Let's see. Catching up. Let's see. I saw something from Snake Lover. Oh, said you can. So, okay, this is Dawn of Dawn's Garter Snakes. Is Snake Lover, and so I can let you know that we're actually, our live stream, we're going to do 2 live streams next week, which is pretty cool. Kind of unprecedented, just because of the timing, the way it worked out. So we're going to have our normal one on Wednesday next week with Reptifiles, Mariah from Reptifiles, and we're going to have Dawn of Dawn's Garter Snakes on Monday, as we actually, I'm going to bring the snakes to his house, which is what I've done every year since I've had, baby snakes, since I've been breeding garters. And he helps me sex them because Dawn's been doing this for decades, and I am still a newbie compared to Dawn. He knows how to do it. He's been teaching me. I get better at doing it every year. I get better at figuring out how to sex the garter snakes, but I don't do it often because I usually only have 1 clutch a year, and so I need more practice to build confidence and make sure I'm doing it right. And Dawn is an old hand at that, so we're going to have him help me again. He's always appreciated. He's helpful in that way, and so I'm super glad for the help, and it teaches me what I need to know. So, and then we get to hang out and talk snakes, which is always fun too. Ooh, okay. Getting some of these ready. So what do we have in the chat? Let's see. Short stream better than no stream, yeah. Okay. Atypical Girl, greetings. Welcome. And good luck, Insect Central, with getting those igniators going. Someone else, I think it was Tennyson, recently got some igniator havoniensis as well. Those are so cool. Let's see. Okay. So Casey, do I have Marulanella? Not currently, no. I have kept Marulanella to a limited degree. It was the tricolors. I had them for a short time. They started breeding for me, and then the colony crashed, and I think I know why. I think I wasn't keeping them wasn't providing enough verticality, and wasn't providing quite enough ventilation to them. And I think that's why they started breeding but then kind of crashed. But I have shifted my focus to isopods that I can ship to a large extent. I'm in the process of doing that, we should say. And so I'm not really pursuing isopods that I can't ship so much. I can't ship Marulanella. You have to have a containment facility to receive them, and very few people have those, and I hope to get one someday, but I don't have one yet, and I would only be able to ship to people who also had a containment facility, so kind of pointless for me at this point to work with them from that standpoint, even though I think they would be quite cool. I love their colors. I think they're deservedly popular because they are not only beautiful, but they're visible. They tend to be day active and somewhat arboreal, and so people see them when they keep them, which I think is fantastic. I wish I could leave the lid off of these so you could watch these. Let's see. Avocado, I do keep quite a few arachnids. I have one Dolichothele diamantinensis, that's my one and only tarantula. I have a small assortment of true spiders, including black hole spider, otherwise known as Cuculcania hibernalis. I have a, let's see, Steatota grossa, false black widow. I have quite a few different ones. What else do I have right now? I have a Platycryptis undatus. Looking around, I've got a Phidippus ardens. I have a Selenops species flatty wall spider. Those are my spiders, I think. Maybe I've got a couple more than that. As other arachnids, I have two scorpions. I have a giant hairy desert scorpion. I have a couple of Asian forest scorpions. I have some amblypygids, two Damon diadema captive bred, a pair, looks like a pair anyway, and I'm hoping to get those breeding soon. And let's see, what else do I have? I have a vinegaroon, Mestigoproctus tohono, and those I think are my arachnids that I can think of at the moment. There are probably others, but there we go. Okay, so I just captured some more. I apologize for the slowness. Let's see. Yeah, Steatota grossa is a fairly common one in some areas. It's a little harder to find around here. We find Steatota, the genus, here, but the grossa are a little bit less common, and so they're pretty cool. If I ever find another one, I need to give one to Don, because I know he's looking. Let's see. So yeah, I am breeding rubber duckies. So seriously, zebras are a lot of fun. It is hard to beat zebras for a good beginner isopod that, you know, it's consistently attractive, even if it doesn't matter if it's spotted or striped from that standpoint. They still look super cool. There's good demand for them. They can ship. You can ship them to most states, not every state in the U.S. I don't know what regulations are like in other parts of the world, but in the United States, zebras are pretty easy to come by. They're not that expensive. There's a few different morphs. So you have something, you know, some variety if you want some variety. They're pretty cool that way. So I would say, yeah, definitely go for those if you haven't kept them. So Insect Central, as far as the beetle jelly, you probably could use other fruits, and I don't see any problem experimenting, but banana seems to be consistently one that gets a lot of species to eat, especially if the banana's a little bit on the riper side. Oh no, Yotaro, I'm sorry your vinegaroon passed away after molting. That's buried an entire year and then, I don't know. So JMYR04, I do sell zebras. I'm super low right now, except for my random mix, and I'm even low on those a little bit, but also Hyder, hello. So invertebrate person, if I was in Florida, what isopods are easiest to get? I actually have a list. I can't remember it in my mind. It's just like off the top of my head, it's a pretty basic list. There's only a few species that you can keep in Florida and ship to Florida legally, which is kind of sad. But, you know, that's kind of the way it goes. Florida being what it is in terms of potential for invasive species. I understand it. I can't really blame them for being careful in a state where so many things have become invasive. But yeah, there are only a couple, but it's not two, but you know, like 8 or something. I don't remember exactly. And they're all pretty basic species that are very common in the U.S. So what is the recipe to make Oreo crumble? Unfortunately, Oreo crumble is not a mix of different forms. It is just one mutation that occurred in the wild type. And so you can't create it per se like you can with some, like if you have Oreo crumble and orange, you can create, you know, the orange pied morph known as the orange cream or something very like it. But that's the thing. So Theropod Hunter, I have never had Trachelopus. So Yotaro, yours was very thick and the enclosure was moist. I wonder what's going on there. I wish I knew. I'm still waiting for mine to emerge. Mine hasn't been down a year, so I'm not as concerned as I would be if it had been down a year, but it went down last fall, and you know, that's how that goes. So, oops, sorry, bumped it. Did not mean to do that. Bumped the screen. Okay, what I've got here are a bunch of Silisticus convexus Ukraine pied. I'm about to put in these cups. Seriously, I wish more people kept these. There's such cool isopods, cool patterning, a lot of variability in the patterning, but it's typically pretty high expression. And they're just so unique in the way they express the sort of pied pattern. They're also really good at climbing out if you leave too much paper toweling sticking out, which is not awesome. But let's see. Sorry, everybody. Just 1 second, I'll be with you. I'm going to put this lid on these guys. Start out with a new one. So my understanding is that Pruinosis orange koi is a different mutation from orange cream. Let's see. So, Ramingo, welcome. I'm glad life's not too bad. Weird, I'll say mine is weird too. Some great things and some not so great things. A good mix of them, I guess. Life is busy, challenging, but lots of beautiful things too. So I guess I could say I'm sort of in a similar boat. Perhaps we're in the proverbial same boat, in fact. Okay, I'm just collecting a few more Silisticus. And let's take a close look at these Silisticus if we can for a second. Look at the interesting patterning on them. Some of them almost none, but they have big patches and a lot of variation, which I love. I think it's great when you have a lot of variation. And I do regret that it's harder to see what's going on through this container, but at least you can see some of it. There was somebody else I was trying to catch up here. Favorite isopod to breed? Oh, I don't know. I enjoy breeding all of them, really, but I really like Gestroid just to keep in general. It's one of my favorites. And I guess by extension there's that. I have fun breeding Porcellio caber projects. So there's that as well. They're pretty interesting and weird. There's a lot of variation in that particular type of isopod. So let's see. Part of my problem today with distance here, I apologize, is that I have a microphone on a cord now, because I found out my iPad doesn't work with wireless mics anymore. It's getting old. I got this in 2016 when I was basically starting my YouTube channel like for real, instead of just making random videos once in a while. And now it won't work with the plug-in mics on the charger end of the iPad, where you plug in like the Bluetooth mics, not the Bluetooth mics, but the wireless mics, doesn't work. And so now I can only use this plug-in mic, and it's kind of a pain. Okay, I'm going to be right back. I'm grabbing some isopods. Be right back. The isopods I'm just about to collect are going to Derek Niehaus. We just did a live stream together recently, and he is looking specifically for a project he's working on. He needs some Nosatum whiteout and some Nosatum orange, and so we chatted about that after our stream, and I'm delighted to send him some so he can get working on his project. I think it's going to be super cool. And I wish him the best on the project. So I'm sending him some young oranges and some young whiteouts. And maybe that's a spoiler for some of you if you saw the stream the other day. And if you didn't, maybe you should go check it out. But I'm pretty excited about it, because participating in some of these selective breeding projects is just fun. I've selectively, used selective breeding to produce a few different forms of isopods in the past, and I'm just excited to be part of another one. Even if I may work on the same one myself, or I may let Derek do this one, and we'll see. Should be fun. There are my little oranges. I'm sending him tiny juveniles because, well, tiny juveniles, but small juveniles, because that's what he prefers. For breeding projects, they're less likely to have mated, and that's kind of what you want. Okay, that's the M2, and I need to put some in. There's the oranges right there. So, Yotaro, so far, thank you for asking. Ruby's babies, except for the one that passed away a couple days after birth, that was a runt, and I just don't think it was destined to do well. It was very, very small birth size, and just probably wasn't gonna pull it off, unfortunately. Besides that one, they're all doing well. They have transitioned so that they will now accept, or at least I think all of them, and it's hard to tell when you can have so many, but they're accepting just pure minced pinkies. I'm not mixing fish or night crawlers into them of necessity anymore. I'm still going to mix some foods in with them to keep them happy to eat a variety of things, so that when someone gets them, they're not like, oh, this isn't pinkies, so I'm not eating. You don't want that to happen. Sometimes transitions can cause snakes not to eat. When you send them to a new home or whatever, they go through a lot of shipping stress, and like, oh, well, okay, you're going to do that? Well, I'm not going to eat anymore. That can happen, and it's happened to me when I receive snakes. So the best insurance against that is to make sure that the snakes have eaten various things and are familiar with whatever you have for them. And they will most likely, they're more likely to continue to eat. And even if you offer them something that's not on the menu, the fact that they have accepted a variety of foods already tends to be a predictor that they're going to do well and eat more readily. Sorry, I'm kicking things. It's always a bad sign when I start kicking things. Just kidding. Just an accident. So, yeah. So all of Ruby's babies so far are doing okay. So it's possible to keep eggs expulsion of dying isopod. I've never tried that. If they are expulsed or they leave the pouch moving, then you have a pretty good chance. Like if they're walking around when they leave the pouch, you have a pretty good chance they're going to do okay. But otherwise, I would say the chances are pretty poor, but I don't know anybody who's done it. So Yotaro, weren't you telling me that your trio is not producing yet? You were hoping to get some babies this year, but not yet. Is that right? That's party mix right there that I need to fulfill. These are candy mixes. Okay. Nazatums are popular this time. Sometimes it's funny that this goes in cycles. I'll have a specific isopod that people want, and they want it for a long time, and then then they won't want it for months, and then suddenly they'll want it again. It's weird. Okay. Oh, shoot. Yotaro, that sounds like a tough year indeed. Is your hognose doing okay? Did you get any babies? Maybe that's a dumb question. I don't know. If it was egg-bound, probably didn't get any eggs out of that, I'm guessing. Any viable ones, I mean. Any tips on breeding isopods specifically? Well, basically there's a lot that depends on the species, but if you're keeping them well, you don't really need to worry about breeding so much. Just make sure they have plenty of good food, plenty of leaf litter. I think leaf litter is a key that helps a lot of them breed better. It's not necessarily, not all species need it to breed, like Porcellonides prunosus will do pretty well without it, as long as they have plenty of food. But some of them seem to do better with it and breed better with plenty of leaf litter. A lot of them do. And especially if it's decaying leaf litter, it's better than just dry leaf litter. That doesn't seem to be as nearly as effective. The decaying leaf litter provides a lot more nutrition than just dry leaf litter, although they will eat dry leaf litter in many cases. It's just not nearly as effective. Let's see. For Cubaris species. So Shiro Utsuri are pretty robust breeders. If you make sure they got plenty of space, a little ventilation, they will typically, good food, they'll typically breed for you. If you have plenty of leaf litter in there and they're still not breeding, that would be a little bit surprising. But you can try adding to the leaf litter. We're just about out of time. Sorry, everybody, it went so fast. Okay, well, I have about a minute left. See if I can catch some more questions. Any white Porcellio echinatus? Just found one in my box. Quick Google search. Don't show me any. I don't know about that species. I've never kept it. I've heard of it. I haven't kept it. I would go ahead and isolate that one with a few other young wild types and see what you get. It's probably worth a shot. And pup penguin, poo-poo penguin. I'm trying to understand. Poo-poo penguin 7. Thank you, and good luck with your first isopods. That is awesome. Tips to keep pandas in optimal conditions. Pandas do really well. I just make sure they don't dry out, and give them plenty of leaf litter, plenty of food, lots of hides. Make sure they have plenty of hides. Give them some decent protein. They do like it. All right. And I think I missed some things. Oh, I'm glad you at least saved a few of the hognose eggs, Yotaro. That's something. All right, everyone. I've got to cut out. Got to go. But thank you for joining me in this unusual stream, and we'll be back to. We'll actually have 2 streams next week, so stay tuned for that on Monday and on Wednesday. Thanks for joining in, and have a great one.